to grab the lead from Parochial, but Parochial is still right there. Now up on the outside, here comes Ali Sheba with a move 3 wide, inching up on the leaders, and Temperate Sill at the rail. There at the top of the stretch, $1 million on the line. It's Candy's Gold, the leader by a length and a half. On the outside, Ali Sheba, the favorite, coming on and inching up with a furlong to go. There's Ali Sheba, Candy's Gold on the inside, Parochial next, and Temperate Sill a beaten fourth. Ali Sheba, the horse with the blinkers on, has a neck in front. Inside the final 70 yards, Ali Sheba does it with Chris McCarron aboard.
And as you can see, it really was quite a race. So I tell you what, I had a chance to talk to Jack Vanberg just moments ago, the trainer. He says he's very happy with his horse.
Oh, I'm very pleased with him. He ran a big race. He proved after all of his campaign and the Triple Crown races that he still can come back and be at his top form. So I'm very happy with him, and he's been a good horse all year. We've had some bad racing luck, but this horse has never, except the Travers in the mud where he hurt himself, as he throwed in any bad races.
So he is one of the best 3-year-olds.
I think he is the best 3-year-old. There's no doubt in my mind. He's went from one end of the United States and won, and on every racetrack there is, and I think that makes a lot of difference.
So, Tony, let me tell you something. Whether you think he was a favorite, let me show you how much of a favorite he was. I bet across the board a $2 bet. That's $2 win place. You show $6 on Ali Sheba. My return, $7.80. I won $1.80. That's how much of a favorite he was today.
But you won, and that's the important thing. Bob, let me ask you one question. We've got some time. You know, the knock on the Super Derby the past few years has been that they haven't been able to get the real big-name horses. And, of course, this year they brought in 2 big names, Ali Sheba and Temperate Sill. How do you, and from talking to the folks out at the Downs, think this race, what do you think it'll mean for maybe next year in the Super Derby?
I think not only the horses, but the crowd and the fact that it was on national television on ESPN. You put those all together, and I think it really means that this is probably the biggest day that the Super Derby has ever had. And what we shouldn't forget is, I tell you what, Louisiana Downs is probably, they wouldn't admit it and they wouldn't want to say it, but the NFL players strike, no television on NFL today, nothing on CBS or NBC. It had to help them, not only in the crowd here, but who watched that race all over the country. So yes, I think they're very happy with the day.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. And the folks out at the Downs, a record crowd, and all across the country on television got to see a terrific race. Ali Sheba pulls out the win this afternoon. Well,
event of its day for 3-year-old thoroughbreds. Now in 1987, Super Derby 8 will be run for $1 million. And this track's first 7-figure purse has drawn some of racing's best. Headlined by Ali Sheba, winner of the Kentucky Derby and Preakness. Temperate Sill from California, winner of the Santa Anita Derby and the Swaps. In from the Midwest, Fortunate Moment, winner of 6 straight races at Arlington Park, including the American Derby. And the Downs' greatest collection of racing personalities are here. Hall of Fame trainers Jack Vanberg and Charlie Whittingham. And the winningest rider in thoroughbred history, Bill Shoemaker. All here today for the $1 million challenge of Louisiana's Super Derby 8. Budweiser racing across America. Today, live from Louisiana Downs in Shreveport, Bossier, it's Super Derby 8. This ESPN sports presentation is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all that you do, this Bud's for you. By Frank's Farms, in the forefront of the thoroughbred racing and breeding industry. Del Rayo Downs for those who appreciate thoroughbred living. Mana Pro, makers of Calf Mana, the feed that fuels the fast ones. Ask Jack Vanberg and Ali Sheba. By the Thoroughbred Racing Associations, assuring the highest racing standards. Calumet Farm, the new era begins. Stay tuned for Louisiana Downs' $1 million Super Derby. Next.
America's largest owner and developer of shopping malls. America's largest investor in sports enterprises. A major force in thoroughbred horse racing. With Louisiana Downs, the nation's 5th largest racetrack. The new Thistledown, And Remington Park, Oklahoma City's world-class racing center, set to open in 1988. DeBartolo, building today for the next century.
Frank's Farms in the forefront of the thoroughbred racing and breeding industry. Herat, the all-time money-leading son of the great Northern dancer, is owned in partnership by Franks and Alan Paulson at Brookside Farm for Sales, Kentucky. John Franks, an industry leader, two-time Eclipse Award-winning owner with farms in Louisiana, Maryland, and Florida. Frank's Farms at the top of the racing industry. For more information on breeding seasons and sales, call Frank's Farms, area code 318-425-2065.
You don't have to be the chairman of the board to feel like one at the Howard Johnson.
Northeast corner of Louisiana for the Super Derby Festival of Racing here at Louisiana Downs. 10 days of racing with 10 stakes worth almost $2 million. And the festival finale is this afternoon with the running of Super Derby 8, a purse raise from $500,000 to $1 million. And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln as we welcome you wherever you're watching across the country today on ESPN to our Super Sunday. Maybe not football, but Super Thoroughbred Racing. Behind us, you see part of the crowd here that is a record crowd for a Super Derby Festival event here at Louisiana Downs. More than 24,000 people today. They'll wager, they say, over $4 million. Dave Johnson, Charles C. Kennedy, our experts are with us. Let's look at the conditions of racing now for Super Derby 8. It is a Grade 1, $1 million guaranteed. The classic American distance of 1.25 miles for 3-year-olds. All are colts in the field. All carry the Derby weight of 126 pounds. Let's take a look now at the field that'll run in Super Derby 8 with the morning line and jockey assignments. Candy's Goal opens at 9-2. Gary Stevens, the excellent young rider, in. Ali Sheba 7-5. Chris McCarron. Ali Sheba is running on Lasix. Jack Van Berg, the trainer, had a choice, decided to put his Kentucky Derby and Preakness winner back on the medication Lasix. Mom's Ferrari opens at 20-1. Richard Atkins has the ride. Parochial, the number 4 horse, 20-1 as well. Herb McCauley. The 5 horses, Fortunate Moment at 8-1. Early Fires. Number 6, Temperate Sill, the second choice on the morning line at 2-1 from the Charlie Whittingham barn, ridden by the great Bill Shoemaker. Number 7, Perdition's Son, 20-1. Ronald Ardoin, the local horse owned by Louisiana horseman John Franks, who paid $35,000 to supplement him to this race. And Wayne's Crane also at 20-1, Don Howard. A field of 8 for Super Derby 8. For the first time, it is not an invitational, it is a nomination race. And to take a look at some of our stars of the Super Derby, let's go over to Dave Johnson in the new walking ring.
Well, here's the Sunday paper from Shreveport, Bossier City. No, it's not the sports section. This is the news section, page 1, and the headline is The $1 Million Question. Who will win the Super Derby? And most fans have one of 2 answers. They say either Kentucky Derby and Preakness winner Ali Sheba or the West Coast 3-year-old star Temperate Sill. Now, when we watched Kentucky Derby this year, we watched Ali Sheba win it in a style that was nothing short of spectacular. Let's take a look at the stretch drive. In my 23 years of calling races, I have never seen a horse do what Ali Sheba did. In the Kentucky Derby, it was bet twice on the lead. And on the outside, Ali Sheba in the blue and white colors, and with Chris McCarron aboard, he takes a stumble. Not only does Ali Sheba recover from that desperate stumble, but again, bet twice moves in front of him through the stretch drive. Again, Ali Sheba recovers, and he went on not to just finish the race, he went on to win the Kentucky Derby. And that proves a lot about any horse, especially this 3-year-old named Ali Sheba. And from the West Coast, here's the horse who came to prominence by virtue of this race, the Santa Anita Derby. And the marquee horse is Temperate Sill. And with Bill Shoemaker in the irons, he went on to impressively score this April Classic, winning the Santa Anita Derby in 1 minute and 49 seconds, a Grade 1 event. Well, the gray horse is back here this afternoon, too. He missed the Triple Crown because of virus, but he is back in action, and he took the swaps recently at Hollywood Park. Now, usually when we're talking about the big horses in a race, alongside is Charles C. Kennedy. But I just wonder where in the world, or where anyway here at Louisiana Downs, we might find Charles C. today.
Well, Dave, I'm in a pretty precarious position here, flanked by these 2 roguish Hall of Fame trainers. I've got Charlie Whittingham on my right, who's here with Temperate Sill, and Jack Van Berg on my left, who's here with Ali Sheba. Now, both trainers saw their colts go down to defeat in the Travers stake. And Jack, your colt was favored. What happened in the Travers?
Well, Chelsea, he just didn't handle the mud. When Chris comes back, he said his legs was going 80 miles an hour and he wasn't going anywhere. And of course, when we got him back to the barn, his heel swelled up because he'd bruised it so bad and he just hammered it. So I'm sure that that's the only bad race he's run for us. His other races have all been good races. We had some mistakes in them, but they've been strong races, and I'm sure that was the whole thing, the track condition. And I didn't want to change shoes that day. I didn't have my blacksmith up there that day, so I didn't take a chance of putting stickers on him.
One thing you have changed for today is that you had the choice of running with Lasix or without Lasix. You've chosen to run with. Why?
Well, because Charlie told me so I thought I might as well do what Charlie said. He guided me through the Derby and the Preakness, so I thought that was a good idea. I just followed Charlie's. And it's one of those things that we come down here, the heat and stuff, and which he had bled before, and if we come down here and elected not to run on Lasix, then we'd be off of it completely. And I just think it's one of those things that give the horse every opportunity he has, and he run awful good with it, so I think it was only fair to him.
Well, as you said, Jack, you got a lot of input from this gentleman at the Kentucky Derby. When Temperance Hill got sick, you became Jack's assistant trainer. Now, I hope all this input isn't going to backfire and he'll be able to out-train you today.
I wish they could help him a little more today. He'd be in trouble.
Charlie, you too had a bad go in the Travers. Everything went against you that day. What happened?
Well, just it rained, which it said it was going to rain. It did. In New York, when it was going to rain there, and it poured, you know, as you saw the race. And unfortunately, this horse cannot run in the mud. His sire was a good mud horse. In fact, he won this race in the mud. But he's such a long stride in the cold, and then he got out and he broke very well. And they had a rabbit in there. Mr. Jolly had a rabbit in there, and he was chasing and hollering. He just panicked, and away he went, and got about 10 lengths in front, and then he just tired. Bill said he was slipping all the way, and he couldn't do much about it.
What about speed today? You blew out in 33 change, 44 and change. Will you be on the lead?
I don't know. It don't matter much. I don't think he has to be in front, but he's got a tremendous amount of speed, and he won't panic so much. We on the slop and all that hollering and screaming, and the rain's coming down, and Bill couldn't do anything about that. But wherever he is, it doesn't matter much.
Well, we wish you both good luck, looking to get their good 3-year-olds back on the winning track. Jack Van Berg and Charlie Whittingham. Chris?
Thank you, Charles. You know, Louisiana Downs has a reputation of being America's friendliest racetrack. Well, they work at it very hard here. And with more on that, the Senior Vice President, General Manager of the Downs, Tom Sweeney.
Louisiana Downs is proud to be a member of the Thoroughbred Racing Association, the TRA, a membership of 50-odd racetracks who provide ideas and exchanges of information that benefit all racetracks. Last year at the annual convention, Louisiana Downs Vice President David Vance gave a presentation on improving customer relations through building employee goodwill. Employees are the most important part of any racetrack operation, as they are the link with our fans. Here at Louisiana Downs, we want our employees to know how much we rely on them, and they in turn let our fans know how much we value their patronage. Our employees act as hosts, and they consider our fans as their guests. I believe this is the key to the success of any racetrack. We are in the business of entertaining the public, and cordial and courteous treatment should be our primary objective. This is only one of the concerns that all TRA member tracks share, and it is at the TRA conventions that each track is able to share their experiences for the benefit of all. Membership in the TRA allows each track to build upon the experience of their fellow tracks, and thus to improve the image and the relationship of those who patronize our facilities.
Now the fun continues in every direction. Louisiana Downs, even above the Bud Light Parachute Team, coming in here to add to the excitement of Super Derby 8. Back in a moment.
Source to turn to. Every week, Thoroughbred Times delivers insightful commentaries, detailed racing coverage, and the most up-to-date statistics available in the industry. Whether your interest in racing is purely sport or business, Thoroughbred Times is the source for news and information. Call now to begin your subscription to the thoroughbred industry's best value in publishing. Thoroughbred Times.
Reintroducing Kellogg's Rice Krispies, now with more energy-releasing B vitamins than ever. Part of a good breakfast that can help get you going. Excuse me.
Here's Spangled Rainbow, an $8,000 claimer. Won $29,000 last year. Winright Farm at Hurricane Bluff Training Center produces winners. The most effective training techniques, the finest training facilities. See for yourself. Call Ray Olson or drive by 3.5 miles west of Benton on the Old Plain Dealing Road.
It's the Polysteel Saving.
Welcome back to Louisiana Downs, as we want to bring you up to date a little bit on some of the festival activities that have gone on here at Louisiana Downs, and it has been a real week of festival activity for you. We're going to take a look at an update of the odds now for you. First look at what the betting public considers the favorites here today. Candy's Gold 13, Ali Sheba 3-5, Mom's Ferrari at 50, Parochialo's up to 60-1. Fortunate Moment is 4-1. Temperance Hill is the second choice at 3-1. Perdition's Son is 30, and Wayne's Crane is 45-1. A lot of activity going around this weekend here with Super Derby Festival, and let's join Charles C. Kenny and Dave Johnson to recap it.
Along with the great racing at Louisiana Downs these last 10 days, there's also been the Super Derby Festival that over the last 4 years has raised over $1 million for local charities. The river cities of Shreveport, Bossier really come alive during the Super Derby Festival. 40 events, a series of charity balls, parties, and art shows, reigned over by Super Derby Queen Suzette Parker.
The big money races started here on Friday afternoon with the $150,000 River Cities Budweiser Breeders' Cup. Near the finish of this mile and a 16th lawn party, it was short sleeves, trained by Darrell Vienna and ridden by Gary Stevens, dominating the action and drawing off to an easy victory. Then on Saturday, it was the Grade 2 Louisiana Downs Handicap, also on the grass. Turning for home in this mile and 3/8 marathon, Chris McCarron took I-80s to the front, trained by Bobby Frankel. The favorite, Efrad, with Bill Shoemaker, trying to cut the margin from the second spot, but at the wire, it was Chris McCarron aboard I-80s. It's a big day for Chris as he took the Louisiana Downs Oaks earlier in the afternoon on Julie the Flapper.
And a lot of activity also another part of the country. Bay Meadows Racecourse at San Mateo, California, just outside San Francisco. We're excited to tell you we're going to be starting one of our Budweiser Racing Across America Series events of '88 right there with the San Francisco Derby. As you take a look at their activity yesterday, Ascot Day at Bay Meadows. This is one of their big events. It was the opening weekend of Bay Meadows' 89-day meet. Beautiful day, clear skies, temperatures in the 80s, and you see the field going to the track here. 11 in the field, turf listed as firm. The Ascot Handicap. Let's pick up the call now from track announcer John Gibson.
Into the stretch in the Ascot Handicap. Celtic Reality has command, driving on the outside. Here comes Blanco in the middle of the track. Far outside, the Medic is bearing down as they move through deep stretch. That's Blanco with the lead. The Medic is closing in with every stride on the outside. That's Blanco with the lead. The Medic is driving on the outside. It's Blanco and the Medic. It's Blanco in front.
Blanco wins it, ridden by the turf specialist Fernando Toro by half a length. Paid $740, $320, and $280. Blanco's earnings now over $302,000. The Ascot Handicap run yesterday at Bay Meadows. We'll return with more here from Super Derby 8. You take a look at Helen Van Berg, part of the Van Berg family, waiting for Ali Sheba to arrive in the paddock.
On the outside with a firm now taking a head lead. Here's Derby Creek Road up to challenge him on the outside, and it's still a three-way battle. Alydar swinging to the outside, comes on too. It's a firm to head Derby Creek Road, and Alydar's coming at him, and it's Alydar on the outside who has a head in front.
Alydar, one of the great stallions at Calumet Farm.
Winners and Calf Manor.
On Calf Manor with his feet and has been on it ever since. Ali Sheba or any horse I have in my barn, you can walk up to them and you never find a horse that will not eat it. They'll eat it plain right out of your hand. This formula has worked for me. This formula has worked out me going for 5,000 winners, so I'm not about to change.
Well, Dave told us about the headliners in today's Super Derby, but there are a pair of colts right up there in the first paragraph who shouldn't be overlooked. Candy's Gold is here from California. He's only won one stakes race, but he's a colt whose future is before him. In the Silver Screen Handicap, he came from just off the pace to wear down front running On the Line to win by a neck. Trainer Eddie Gregson thought enough of him to bring him to the Kentucky Derby in May. He had no luck that day, but he's improving and he's consistent. In fact, the Derby was the only time he's been off the board this year. Gary Stevens is up and he just won the Temperance Hill Handicap aboard Caro's Love. Also for your strong consideration is Fortunate Moment, shown here winning the Stroh's Prelude right here at Louisiana Downs. And a race over the track could be very beneficial today. The only defeat in his career came in the Sloppy Travers Stakes. He was unraced at 2, but he's 7 for 8 at 3, all of them on or close to the lead. Chris?
Thank you, Charleston. And a look at a couple more of the big contenders there. As you see, the horses are arriving in the paddock. They're being identified here. Those are the Super Derby horses getting ready to run for $1 million. When we come back, we'll have a special feature on Thoroughbred Racing's all-time winningest trainer. Jack Van Berg is next.
Turf's up at Northern California's premier thoroughbred track. Come to San Francisco and race Bay Meadows. Horsemen, nominate now for one of Northern California's most prestigious races. On October 3rd, the 55th running of the $300,000 Bay Meadows Handicap. This Grade 2 fixture for 3-year-olds and upward at 1 mile and 1/8 will be contested on the turf. But hurry, nominations close next Wednesday, September 23rd. Come to Bay Meadows and race where you can stay and play, and the purses are tops. Do San Francisco, do Bay Meadows.
At this very moment, throughout the world, horses from the Keeneland Sales in Lexington, Kentucky, horses such as John Henry, Spectacular Bid, Alleged, The Minstrel, Sharif Dancer, Ali Sheba, and Bet Twice are winning the classic races, making racing history. And it all begins here at the Keeneland Sales in Lexington, Kentucky, source of the classic winner.
Frank's Farms in the forefront of the thoroughbred racing and breeding industry. Herat, the all-time money-leading son of the great Northern Dancer, is owned in partnership by Franks and Alan Paulson at Brookside Farm for Sales, Kentucky. John Franks, an industry leader, 2-time Eclipse Award-winning owner with farms in Louisiana, Maryland, and Florida. Frank's Farms at the top of the racing industry. For more information on breeding seasons and sales, call Frank's Farms, area code 318-425-2065. The Radisson Hotel Shreveport welcomes you to the Shreveport-Bossier City area like no one else can. Our renovation is complete with your total comfort in mind. From the rose marble lobby entry to the spacious and luxurious guest rooms and our complete banquet and convention facilities. Experience the exciting atmosphere of Jennifer's Lounge. Enjoy the finest dining at Chadwick's with a full menu featuring our famed spicy Cajun cooking. The Radisson Hotel Shreveport, downtown off I-20, just minutes from all the area's major attractions.
Back at Louisiana Downs, where the excitement is building and the record crowd coming down to get a close-up look at the horses as they come to the paddock for the $1 million Super Day on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Quick check of the odds board. Candy's Gold is 11-1. Ali Sheba, the overwhelming choice at 2-5. Mom's Ferrari and Parochial both at 70-1. Taking a look at the other horses in the field, Fortunate Moment at 5-1. He has a race over the track and is getting support at the windows. Temperance Hill is the second choice at 3. Perdition Sun is at 35, and Wayne's Crane is at 50-1. And the star of the show coming into the paddock is Ali Sheba, and that's Jack Van Berg coming to the paddock with his star. Well, you know, in every sport there are special people. Sometimes they are unique characters who make us smile when we think about them. Sometimes their achievements so great we simply stand in awe at their accomplishment. Well, in this case, they are all wrapped up into one man, Jack Van Berg.
As much as anything, Jack Van Berg is a product of breeding. The Columbus, Nebraska native was the last of 9 children, or as Jack says, my father was a perfectionist. I must have been just what he was waiting for. His father was Marion Van Berg, America's leading owner in races won for 11 consecutive years from 1960 through 70. And as a trainer, he was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1970, a year before his death. Even now, Jack still misses him.
Well, I just think that I was one of the most fortunate people in the country to have the chance to come up under my father. He was a genius with horses. He was a gentleman along with it. He was a perfectionist. When he sent you to do something, he didn't want any excuses, no shortcuts or anything. You had to do it to his perfection. And at the time when I was a kid, I thought how bad he was, how mean he was. But every day of my life, I thank the Lord that I got to come up under him.
Jack started learning his lessons on the backside of Nebraska tracks at age 14, and through most of his now 36-plus years as a trainer, he's worked to overcome a stereotype.
I've had the tag all my life as a claiming horse trainer. And everybody thinks that if you train claimers, you can't train a good horse. Good horses actually are easier to train than claimers are.
He proved what he could do with a good horse when he got his first classic winner with Gate Dancer, winner of the 1984 Preakness. The horse with the hood and the earmuffs showed his classic one-run form in Super Derby 5, coming from 20 lengths back.
I have an awful soft spot in my heart for that horse. Number one, I never had a horse earn $2.5 million.
They come now to the 16th hole.
He was a good horse. We had problems overcoming some of his habits. We overcome him, contained him, and he was a very intelligent horse, but he had so much ability that he could catch horses, run to horses, just like a roping horse catching a calf. That's how fast he could catch his field of horses.
Van Berg set a national single-season record with 496 wins in 1976. And this year, he became the first trainer in the history of the sport to win 5,000 career races. It happened at Arlington Park in Chicago on July 15th.
Coming to the 8th pole, Art Chandel driving now a length and a half. I'm a Bad Boy running at him down along the rail, followed by Remedium. Art Chandel, but on the outside, here comes J.A.'s United. It's Art Chandel with Jack Van Berg's 5,000th victory.
The thoroughbreds trained in the famed purple and gold colors of the Van Berg stable have won a total of nearly $42 million. But it's not been without a price for the man who gives Delta Airlines as his home address.
I've always said that I was a good provider, but a poor family man, a poor father, because I'm not home. I'm busy. I love to work. I'm a workaholic. I think that really what motivates me more than anything is the young people that come to work for you and the people that work for me. These young kids that's learning to train, Billy Mott, Frankie Brothers, and Lauren Ratelli, and 8 or 10 of those boys that went on to do good for themselves.
And it's the people working for and with Jack at his 8 racetracks and his Goshen, Kentucky, and New California Training Center that keep him going.
I've thought various times, you know, when you have a bad week, a bad month, the horses don't run good and they get to running backwards instead of frontwards, why, I've thought a lot of times about quitting. But when all those people are working for you and they're as dedicated as they are, I really think that's what keeps me going.
In 1985, Jack joined his father in the Racing Hall of Fame. And this year, the year that Ali Sheba won the Derby and the Preakness for him, the street outside his home track, Exarban in Omaha, was renamed Van Berg Avenue.
I get more out of giving people things than I do taking. And I guess I'd have to say that I just want to be remembered as a good fellow and honest. That's all I want to be remembered by.
Now 51, Jack Van Berg has had 2 heroes in his life, his father and the actor John Wayne. As he stood in the winner's circle on that first Saturday in May at the 113th Kentucky Derby, choking back the tears, his dad and the Duke were with him.
I'm proud of you. Every man wants his children to be better than he was. You are.
Be right back, Pop.
This Super Derby 8 from Louisiana Downs is being brought to you by Travel Lodge. For the best value in lodging, it's Travel Lodge. By the DeBartolo Corporation, building today for the next century. Calumet Farm, the new era begins. By the Breeders' Cup, the championship of thoroughbred racing. And by the Thoroughbred Racing Association, assuring the highest racing standards, Louisiana Downs is a TRA member track. There's the activity in the walking ring here for Super Derby 8 as the event is drawing near. You take a look at, there he is, the big horse, number 2, Ali Sheba, owned by Dorothy and Pam Scarborough, trained by Jack Van Berg. Chris McCarron is up as they get ready to head to the racetrack. Now let's toss the ball literally over to Dave Johnson in that walking ring. Dave?
Well, I know you NFL fans are suffering a little withdrawal this Sunday afternoon, so let's take a look at the $1 million horse race we have from Louisiana Downs, the Super Derby, from a football perspective. Here's our starting lineup, what we call our post-parade. And it's number 1, Candy's Gold, a Walter Payton type who has versatility. He's good short or the long runs, the long gainers. He won a grade 2. It was the silver screen at Hollywood Park in July, and second to Temperate Sill in the Swamps. And the quarterback, or the rider in this case, is Gary Stevens, the Joe Montana of our set, a West Coast playmaker who can get the job done without a point spread or a head start. Now let's take a look at the big horse, number 2 in our post parade. It is Ali Sheba, and that little K in the gavel in the right-hand corner means that this horse was sold at Keeneland. This horse sold for $500,000 in July of 1985. Ali Sheba has the lankiness of a halfback, but the determination of an entire defensive line, fighting his way through any obstacle, as you saw in the Kentucky Derby. Big race for him this afternoon. He's only won 2 this year, the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. And Chris McCarron, a Joe Namath-type superstar, whose comeback this year was as spectacular as the Jets in '69. An excellent quarterback who can call the offensive play while figuring out the defense, but he better be looking for that blitz at the wire. And number 3 is Mom's Ferrari, an $11,000 Keeneland sale in September of '85, who's coming off the bench to try and play with the A-team. He had a penalty flag thrown at him last time out in the Canterbury Cup. He was disqualified and placed 3rd, but he's like the Giants. He hasn't won this year, but he's trying. Richard Atkins, like a backup quarterback, talented, able, he's paid his dues, he's looking for a shot at the top. This would be the biggest win of his career. Number 4 is Parochial, sold for $22,500 at Keeneland in September of '85, and he's the kind of an individual who wins the game with a kickoff return. He doesn't figure to be prominent, but he can with the right moves, the right cuts, boom, touchdown. The jockey is Herb McCauley, a John Elway type of professional who's eligible to pull off the big play and upset the line makers. This horse is trained by Bobby Cliceris, by the way, who really has a high percentage of win, great attention to detail. Number 5 is Fortunate Moment, another fullback type who has the speed. Red-shirted at 2, a win over this track last out. He's 7 for 8 this year, and the pilot for Fortunate Moment is Early Fires, a Billy Kilmer type athlete, steady and always punching. There's Early Fires, who's riding the number 5 horse Fortunate Moment. Number 6 is Temperate Sill, a running back, just like O.J. Simpson. Speed to burn. He'd be happy out there all alone. He caught an off track in the Travers, which he didn't like, and finished 8th. Before that was a wire-to-wire winner in the Swaps. And aboard is the master, Bill Shoemaker, the Johnny Unitas veteran, always there, rarely having a bad game, this incredible 56-year-old athlete. And Perdition Sun is number 7. The local home favorite. He has the home field advantage. Word here is speed, like Eric Dickerson. He's going to run with the ball as fast as he can, as long as he can, and hope that he won't get caught before the finish line. He's tough, 3 for 4 this year against easier company. And the jockey is Ronald Ardwan, who has 26 straight racing days with at least 1 winner each day, an all-time record setter here in the mold of Terry Bradshaw. We want to thank the Daily Racing Form for all the stats we're using. And here's number 8, Wayne's Crane, coming off the injured reserve list. Coming back from an injury. It was a chipped knee after the Jim Beam, trying to prove that he belongs with this company. And the jockey is Donnie Howard, quiet Phil Simms type, who gets the job done. Not much emotion, win, lose, or draw. But of course, Donnie's never won $1 million race before. So that is our post parade, and what a good race we have in store. Chris?
Dave, I think you're ready to be an NFL analyst. I hope you football fans got a little bit of a fix there for the weekend. Get ready, though, to see some real speed and excitement. Thoroughbred racing at its best. Super Derby 8 coming up next.
Whether you're a breeder of thoroughbreds, an investor, or simply a fan of this great sport, the Thoroughbred Record gives you a lively and informative account of every aspect of thoroughbred horses. Call toll-free 1-800-247-2160. Just $34.95 for a 12-month subscription, a full 50% off the cover price. Call now and receive free with your paid subscription the Sire Book, a $25 value. Call 1-800-247-2160 for the Thoroughbred Record.
If you mean business in the thoroughbred industry, the Blood Horse is for you. As a reader, as an advertiser. The Blood Horse is a weekly magazine owned by the Thoroughbred Owners and Breeders Association. The Blood Horse has the facts you need, the style you reflect, the clout you want. The Blood Horse. Why look anywhere else? Call toll-free 1-800-354-9207.
Winright Farm, a Hurricane Bluff Training Center, is a very special place for horses and their owners. Ray Olson and his staff concentrate on the ultimate in cleanliness and comfort in a quiet, serene atmosphere. The track is the finest anywhere, and they use the newest and most effective training techniques combined with the finest training facilities. Winright Farm races at Louisiana Downs, at the fairgrounds, and at Oaklawn Park. Winright Farm, where horses and owners are very special. Call Ray Olson or drive out and see for yourself. 3 miles west of Benton on the Old Plain Dealing Road.
At Mr. Lumber in Shreveport, you can improve your home and save. Carpet in a variety of colors and textures. Prices starting at $3.95. And we have 1/2-inch Rebond carpet pad. Believe it or not, $1 a yard. And you can find many ways to use AstroTurf, going for only $3.50 a yard. The bargains you can build with are here at Mr. Lumber, 2340 Grimmett Drive.
Minutes from post at Louisiana Downs. Let's update you on the odds now. Candies go 8-1. Ali Sheba 3-5. Mom's Ferrari at 90. Parochial at 50. The rest of the field of 8. Fortunate Moment 6. Temperate Sill is 2-1. Perdition Sun is 30. Wayne's Crane is 60. So it's Ali Sheba and Temperate Sill, the favorites for Super Derby 8. But how about a horse that could pay a price? Of course, we're talking about our Budweiser long shot, and this one's for you.
Budweiser long shot is Parochial, a son of Mehmet, owned by Glenn Lane, one of the sharpest claiming owners in the thoroughbred business. Parochial was a good allowance runner in Florida and New Jersey earlier this year, and when he showed up in a $50,000 claiming race in August, Lane reached in and made the expensive purchase. 19 days and one long van ride later, Parochial competed in the Fairmont Derby at Fairmont Park in Collinsville, Illinois. In a strong stretch battle, Parochial outduels I'll Raise You One, and in the process sets a new stakes and track record. In one start, Parochial recovered his purchase price and then some. Today, it's another step up in class and weight, but the price is right. So try Parochial, today's Budweiser long shot.
And Parochial opened at 20-1. The 4-horse now on the board is 50-1. Now there is a Budweiser long shot. Parochial, the 4-horse, at 50-1. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be ready to run Super Derby 8.
America's largest investor in sports enterprises. A major force in thoroughbred horse racing with Louisiana Downs, the nation's 5th largest racetrack, the new Thistledown, and Remington Park, Oklahoma City's world-class racing center, set to open in 1988. DeBartolo, building today for the next century.
We're a minute from post at Super Derby 8 as you take a look at one of the longest shots on the board, the longest shot, Mom's Ferrari 99-1. Dave and Chelsea, let's talk about some of the others in this field. Can they upset the big horses?
Well, Mom's Ferrari did get home at 30-1, first under the wire in the Canterbury Cup, was disqualified, but that was a wire-to-wire effort and a lot more weight on this afternoon. He carries 126 pounds. I don't think so. How about Wayne's Crane, the number 8 horse, Chelsea?
Dave, he looks like his best races are sprinting. His only victories this year, and both of them were stakes, came at 3/4 of a mile. He just hasn't succeeded going around of ground.
And Perdition's Son, I expect to be real close to the early pace. That's the horse wearing saddlecloth number 7, and Ronnie Ardoin, who has that real good streak of wins. But again, I just don't think that they match the competition that they have at the high end of the scale with Ali Sheba, Candy's Gold, Fortunate Moment, and Temperate Sill.
Well, it's not like Frankie Brothers to run a long shot who got beat 20 lengths in his last start. It's interesting that he's a supplementary nominee, and we wonder if he might press a little pace for Ali Sheba.
Let's take a look at Temperate Sill, and here's a horse that is a big question mark. I just don't think he's going to run a big race today.
Dave, he needs such careful rating. He has one going 1.25 miles, but he's really rank. I mean, he really is very kind of speed crazy. He worked very fast here, and frankly, this race does not set up for a speed horse. It's too much early pressure, and I think if I were running today, I'd want to be a come-from-behind horse.
Like Ali Shiva?
Yes, or Candy's Gold.
Chris?
Well, you mentioned, Charles, a very fast work. Temperate Sill had the bullet work here on Wednesday, 58-4 and 5 furlongs. You look at Ali Shiba, the 1-2 favorite now, and he does seem to set up best as perhaps the only horse in the field with the one big run. Speed has been holding on this racetrack. We've seen it all during the week here. Ali Shiba now the 1-2 favorite here. Looks magnificent under Chris McCarron there. Temperate Sill about us some good points. Can he get the 1.25 miles? That's been the question the press has been asking here. How about Candy's Gold? 9-1. Dave, your comments on Candy's Gold of Eddie Gregson?
I think he's going to finish second this afternoon. I see Ali Shiba turning in a big race, and I see Candy's Gold closing strongly in the stretch, but not strong enough. And Parochial, our Budweiser long shot, I think will be along for the show spot. I think Candy's good, but not good enough. But Gary Stevens certainly is an excellent rider. Wouldn't be surprised, though, if something happens to Ali Shiba, to see Candy's Gold and Gary Stevens pick up all the pieces after this 10th
Dave and
furlong.
Charlie, we were asking about last week, the Marlboro Cup. We saw Java Gold win. People talking about he is the 3-year-old champion. He is the horse of the year. What about this race today? How important is it for Ali Shiba to win here at the Super Derby to get back in the 3-year-old fight?
Well, the season is far from over yet, Chris, and I think a good performance here would set him up for a next venture out to the Jockey Club Gold Cup, or maybe on to California and have Java Gold come meet him. One swallow does not the summer make, and I think that a good performance today will not change the 3-year-old picture one way or the other.
There you take a look at the odds, the final odds there. Ali Shiba, the heavy favorite here. Let's check in on the stakes and track record. It is one and the same, set by Gate Dancer, 1984 Super Derby 5 here, and a time of 2 minutes and 1.
Don't forget, Chris.
Yes, Dave.
That the Gate Dancer was trained by a man we've been talking about a lot during this program, one Jack Van Berg.
Dave, how do you see this race setting up?
Well, there's a lot of early speed, lots and lots of early speed. Perdition Sun and I believe that Ali Shiba will be in the middle of the pack and come on and catch them all at the finish. Let's go upstairs, though. Dave Rodman, the voice of Louisiana Downs, will take us through the 1.25 miles step by step. Dave?
Thank you, Dave Johnson. Just one more horse to go in the gate, and that's Wayne's Crane from the outside with Donald Howard aboard. They're in the gate.
Got one backing out, folks.
In Super Derby 8. And quickly to the front, it's Perdition Sun, the supplemental nomination now up on the inside. Here comes Fortunate Moment to put ahead in front. Parochial is close early, and that's Candy's Gold at the rail from the 1-hole. Mom's Ferrari is next, settling into 5th. Temperate Sill trying to be rated off the pace today, next in 6th. And then it's Ali Shiba alongside him, and Wayne's Crane trailing the field. 23-1 for the opening quarter. That equals the slowest opening quarter in a Super Derby. And Parochial is going to try to steal this one on the outside. Fortunate Moment is second. Right there at the rail is Candy's Gold in 3rd. Then it's a gap of 2. Mom's Ferrari in 4th. Perdition Sun on the outside in 5th. Temperate Sill, the gray along the rail, is next. Ali Shiba. And trailing the field, Wayne's Crane. They've got 5/8 of a mile to run. And that's Parochial by 3/4 of a length. But there goes the Stroh's Prelude winner alongside to challenge Fortunate Moment. Candy's Gold right there at the rail. He's trying to sneak through on the inside of the top 2. Temperate Sill just off the leaders in 4th. Then it's a gap of 3 lengths, and Ali Shiba is 5th at this point as the pace picks up around the far turn. And Gary Stevens has gotten Candy's Gold through along the rail to grab the lead from Parochial, but Parochial is still right there. Now up on the outside, here comes Ali Shiba with a move 3 wide, inching up on the leaders, and Temperate Sill at the rail. There at the top of the stretch, $1 million on the line. It's Candy's Gold, the leader by a length and a half. On the outside, Ali Shiba, the favorite, coming on and inching up with a furlong to go. There's Ali Shiba, Candy's Gold on the inside, Parochial next, and Temperate Sill a beaten 4th. Ali Shiba, the horse with the blinkers on, has a neck in front. Inside the final 70 yards, Ali Shiba does it with Chris McCarron aboard, trained by Jack Van Berg, and the running time of 2:03.1.
Ali Sheba, the unofficial winner, a slow time of 2:03.1 here at Super Derby 8. Remember the stakes and track record, 2 minutes and 1. And it was Parochial, our Budweiser long shot, who made a big run there, finishing third. Ali Sheba, though, the winner. Candy's Goal second, and Ali Sheba has rushed back into the 3-year-old and Horse of the Year picture as he now goes over $1 million, make it $2 million in earnings with the $600,000 for the $1 million Super Derby. Ali Sheba, the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness winner, coming back to the winner's circle again.
Brings it out to 3.5 lengths. Raymond Earl still holds second. Go Forth is third. Sunny Songster is making a late run on the outside. We have a furlong to run, and Alidar has opened the lead out to 6 lengths. Raymond Earl still second, followed on the outside by Go Forth and Sunny Songster. But as they're nearing the finish, it's Alidar.
Alidar, one of the great stallions at Calumet Farm.
Welcome back to Louisiana Downs. Unofficially, here it is. Ali Sheba at 2:03.1, the winner. Candy's Goal with a fine ride by Gary Stevens, finishing second. And how about Parochial, our Budweiser long shot, who went off at something like 60-1, a very game third. Well, there he is, Ali Sheba, getting ready to go back into the winner's circle for the first time, Dave, since May 16th at the Preakness. Your thoughts as we take a look at it again?
Well, this was a big race for this horse and a big paycheck, $600,000. Although the first quarter was slow, the pace certainly quickened. They reached the 3-quarter mark in 1:11.2 and the mile in 36.2. And here comes Ali Sheba under a white right-handed whip by Chris McCarron, bearing down and responding. Tough performance by Candy's Gold, who really hung with Ali Sheba there in the final 16th of a mile. And the vastly improved Parochial, trained by Bobby Clisaris, holds on, beaten only 2 lengths for all the money. Slow 26-4 for the last quarter, but the job gets done and the number goes up on the board, and it's the unofficial winner, Ali Sheba, number 2. Charlesy?
Well, Dave, with me now is Bill Shoemaker, who pulled kind of a surprise today, and you kept Temperance Hill way back off the pace, and he still wound up fourth.
Well, actually, he broke a little slow, and I didn't want to rush him, and I just let him pick his own spot where he wanted to be, and it was about 2 or 3 lengths off the lead. You know, and he moved up easy on the backside. He was laying fourth, about a length off the lead, and I thought he had a good shot there, but by the time I hit the 3/8 pole, I knew I was in trouble, so I dropped on the rail and tried to save a little ground, and hopefully, and was hoping that he'd have something left at the finish, and he just kind of ran on, you know.
Well, good. Better luck another day, Bill. Thanks for being with us, and we'll go back over to Chris Lincoln.
Thank you, Charles. You know, the Super Derby has been a nice spot for Kentucky Derby winners. Ali Sheba is the second winner of the Kentucky Derby, who's come here and won the Super Derby back in 1983, Super Derby 4. It was Sonny's Halo who came here and set the biggest margin of victory ever for this race, 10 lengths. The margin today looked like about 3/4 of a length. Did you see Jack Van Berg heading to the winner's circle? Let's go back to Dave Johnson.
Any moment that we spend with Bill Shoemaker is a special one, but jockey Pat Day gave us just a wonderful Breeders' Cup Championship moment, and let's take a look back at that time.
Hollywood Park was the stage for jockey Pat Day's brilliant performance in the world's richest race, the $3 million Breeders' Cup Classic. 30-1 long shot Wild Again had the early lead, but in the stretch, Day would have to summon all his skills to hold the lead as the favorites gave challenge to the wire.
Wild Again, Gate Dancer, slower goal in between them, and here's the wire. Wild Again does it.
For Jockey of the Year, Pat Day, this was his Breeders' Cup Championship moment.
When we come back, we're still waiting for him to make it official. Ali Sheba's waiting outside the winner's circle. Back in a moment.
Frank's Farms in the forefront of the thoroughbred racing and breeding industry. Herat, the all-time money-leading son of the great Northern Dancer, is owned in partnership by Franks and Alan Paulson at Brookside Farm, Versailles, Kentucky. John Franks, an industry leader, 2-time Eclipse Award-winning owner with farms in Louisiana, Maryland, and Florida. Frank's Farms at the top of the racing industry. For more information on breeding seasons and sales, call Frank's Farms, area code 318-425-2065.
Bob, I need a trainer.
How about Eddie?
He's just a kid.
So was I.
You've worked long and hard to get there.
When the time comes, you hope you're ready.
You make America work. This Bud's for you.
Here's to you. Reach with age for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This Bud's for you.
A dream is born. And with care and attention, discipline and freedom, the dream begins to come alive. Share the dream. Let thoroughbred racing come alive for you.
Winners and Calf Manna. Kentucky Derby and Preakness winner Ali Sheba and Hall of Fame trainer Jack Van Berg.
Well, when we bought Ali Sheba as a yearling, he come to our farm in Goshen, Kentucky, went on Calf Manna with his feed and has been on it ever since. Ali Sheba or any horse I have in my barn, you can walk up to them and you never find a horse that will not eat it. They'll eat it plain right out of your hand. This formula has worked for me. The formula has worked out and been going for 5,000 winners, so I'm not about to change.
Ali Sheba